Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I want to talk about D&D canon author Matthew Mercer. I want to talk about Nintendo. I want to talk about Legends of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and I want to talk about Critical Roles. I'm pretty sure the one shot went up on Critical Roles feed, right? But I'm not sure if it's actually Critical Role or if it's just Matthew Mercer and Mercer Ray, right, who are the only Critical Role people who are actually on the feed, right? But it's definitely, and Critical Role is Matthew Mercer in my opinion. I don't think there's really anybody else that matters. My take on that is you take Matthew Mercer out, Critical Role falls apart in 3 months. You take anyone else of Critical Role and replace him, nothing changes. It's not a thing, right? So I think Critical Role is just Matthew Mercer and not a darn thing else. So I think every other part is replaceable, but he is completely irreplaceable when it comes to Critical Role. And so what's really fascinating? So, get right to my point. The point of this video is to talk about Genyarths. So what is a Genyarth? First of all, this is a brand new word. It's a neologism that I am creating to describe this incredibly unusual, outrageously complicated situation we have landed in, right? And I think that situation is a Genyarth, okay? So let's talk about Genyarths, right? What is a Genyarth? First of all, what's the spelling? Well, you can see the spelling right in the title, right? So this is a neologism that I am creating to I'm creating this neologism to explain, to recognize the first time that a Genyarth has ever existed. I think Matthew Mercer and Nintendo, in my humble opinion, it is my humble opinion that Matthew Mercer and specifically Nintendo together have created the world's first Genyarth. Okay, so what is a Genyarth? It is... I really appreciate your patience. All right. You know what a counterfeit is, right? Okay, so if you're a lady who collects handbags, or if you're a man who collects handbags, you want a Gucci bag, right? I knew I had a buddy, and he had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend was literally a CEO of a company, and she had a room, and in that room were 3 different racks, and on those racks were bags that cost between as low as $1,000 all the way up to $25,000, right? She had well over $200,000 in handbags, right? And she had Gucci bags, she had Michael Kors bags, she had a lot of genuine article bags. Genyarth, genuine article, okay? Let's get all the way there. All right, and so she had the real deal, right? She had a Gucci bag, she had a real Michael Kors bag, she had the top of the line handbags, and they were the genuine article, right? And I can tell you right now, right? She showed me, we went over to play a game in her house one, and she showed me that, and he's like Scott's a collector, right? And she goes, what does he collect? And he says, Scott has the largest collection of and this is years ago, right? Has the largest collection of Magic the Gathering cards I've ever seen, right? So she takes me and she shows me this collection, right? And I can tell you after seeing that, right? I can tell you right now, she took her Gucci bag out, and another person was like, "You're carrying a fake. That's a counterfeit. Your Gucci bag's a counterfeit." She would be appalled, right? She would be like, "Oh," and first of all, she would, take steps to determine if it was real or if it was fake, right? She wants the genuine article. Genyarth, we're getting there, right? She wants the genuine article. She wants the real thing, right? She doesn't want a counterfeit. Right? So we know what a knockoff shop is, and we know what a counterfeit is. It's when somebody works really hard to take a thing that's not real and present it as real. The Genyarth is the inversion of that. Okay? It is my humble opinion that Matthew Mercer and Nintendo created the real deal. It is my supposition, it is my humble opinion that the Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom one-shot is 100% canon and is 100% official. It's the genuine article, but it's being presented as a counterfeit. Right? It's saying they're saying the bag is stitched, the bag is made, by Gucci. It's distributed by Gucci. Gucci built it with full knowledge of it, worked hard to create it, and then is saying to the person who receives the bag, that's you and me, because we've been given the one shot. And at the beginning, this Legends of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom one shot that has official Nintendo, like, that was built with Nintendo by Matthew Mercer, who is a fully, full deep in the weeds, actual Legends of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom creator. He helped. It doesn't exist without him. He is Ganondorf, right? So he's an official Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom creator. Nintendo is the official owner. They labored to create an entire tabletop role-playing game to run this. There were literally massive amounts of international, global communication that went back and forth. There were legal documents that went back and forth, right? Every single thing about this says genuine article, but it's being presented as a counterfeit, right? There's this little sleight of hand at the beginning that Matthew Mercer said, this isn't official. Why not? It's by Legends. It's by Nintendo. It's by a full-on legit 100% creator of Legends of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Ganondorf himself, right? It uses all the species that are in the game, and it doesn't use a single thing that's not in the game, right? It's 100%, if you look at it, in my humble opinion, it's 100% canon, it's 100% official. And there's this sleight of hand happening. Oh, this is a counterfeit. This isn't real. This is a Gucci bag that was made by Gucci, distributed by Gucci, given to to a handbag collector, and then Gucci is telling the handbag collector that's a counterfeit. It's a Genyarth. It's an inversion. It's an inversion, right? It's an inversion of our regular world. This is normally we have to stop knockoff shops from creating counterfeits. Now we're getting to the point where we need to actually look at the actual creators of the content who are delivering a 100%, in my humble opinion, official, 100% canon, in my humble opinion, genuine article, and then sidestep them trying to tell us it's a counterfeit. It's a Genyarth. It's a genuine article posing as a counterfeit. It's an inversion of our regular world. Why is it happening? Dungeons & Dragons all the way. I've been telling you this from day one, right? Dungeons & Dragons is not what you think it is, right? And you're like, oh, well, Scott, this doesn't have nothing to do with Dungeons & Dragons. Seal your flapping maw, fool. Dungeons & Dragons is at the heart of it, right? Matthew Mercer isn't just some voice actor. He's a Dungeons & Dragons canon author. He can walk in. I can't walk into Wizards of the Coast right now, right? Just roll up to and say, I'd like to talk to, if Scott Garibay rolls up into Wizards of the Coast office, Hasbro's office, and says, I'd like to talk to Jeremy Crawford right now. They'll tell me you could go kick rocks. Matthew Mercer shows up. Come on in, sir. You're a D&D canon author, and we're waiting for your third D&D canon book. We know that your cranium has nothing but D&D canon content bouncing around in it, and maybe a little. Well, Critical Role is made of Dungeons & Dragons from the ground up, baby, right? Like, and so this is truly incredible, and I just wanted to present this. It is my supposition. It is my humble opinion, and nothing more than that. That the Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom one-shot is the first Genyarth on the planet Earth. It is an actual official creator company has created official, 100% official, 100% canon content, in my humble opinion, and is trying to sell it as just trying to pass it off as a counterfeit. It's the inversion of actual counterfeiting. It's the genuine article presented as a counterfeit, a Genyarth. And it's the first one that's ever happened. And it comes from Gary's legacy, right? In my humble opinion, Gary hid something in Dungeons & Dragons. And that hiding, that root, right, that's in there is causing the entire world to invert on intellectual property, creativity, and authenticity. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing. Have a wonderful millennium.